Hi there, welcome to Coach Talk. LJ, hi.
Hello, Dave. How's your week been?
You know what I'm going to say, don't you?
Yeah, but I ask you that every week. So let me rephrase that as we like to twist it around. Dave, what's new with you?
Nothing. You know what? I find something new in every day.
Yes, you do.
And I love it. And you do too.
100%, yes.
We sort of have that same mindset. I would like to, before we start today, and I think you're going to as well, we have a couple of shout outs as we always do at the start of our podcasts.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to do your shout out first?
No, after you.
Okay, my shout out it's coffee related.
Oh, my best kind of shout out.
Yeah, coffee. I had friends overseas. They visited me over the weekend, and I took them down to Phillip Island, which is in Victoria.
I don't mean to laugh, but wasn't that really cold?
It was Arctic.
Welcome to Victoria in the winter.
Yeah, so they came from Asia, from Northern Asia. So they came from a hot summer to a very cold Arctic Victorian winter.
Wow.
Yeah.
Welcome. We hope you had a great time watching Phillip Island turn to snow.
They went and saw the penguins late at night walking up out of the water and into their little tiny homes, and they did the Phillip Island thing. So we had a good weekend. I took them to breakfast to a place in the middle of Phillip Island. It's a little coffee shop called Penny Lane.
Oh, that's really good. I think I've been there.
Yeah, Penny Lane. The staff were absolutely wonderful, and they were so kind and caring to a group of people that their English is not very good. They were so understanding, and they catered for their breakfast needs, they catered for their coffee needs, and they also catered for me as well.
Yeah.
But in a busy little coffee shop, they took extra time and attention to really help out international guests. And I just want to give a shout out to the guys at Penny Lane in Cowes in Phillip Island. If anyone's going past there and you want a great coffee, which they use all press beans, which is just, I love all press beans.
It's the best.
Yeah. So if you want a great coffee, great service. And the breakfast we had it was a good size, but it was very well made and very well presented, plated up beautifully. I'm raving about these guys, but we had a fantastic experience in a really warm coffee shop. The heater was on. It was pouring rain outside. We had coffee, we had food, and the staff were just so lovely. So Penny Lane, you guys, you did it. You rocked out and you gave us a great breakfast experience, and I'd like to acknowledge that.
Oh, that's awesome. So, yeah, what is it? If you're visiting Phillip Island, to jump into Penny Lane, say hi to the team and tell them Dave and LJ love their coffee and love their team.
Love them long time from Coach Talk. We loved it. It was great. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
So how's your shout out is?
My shout out is, as our beautiful listeners know, I'm an ambassador for the children's charity Kindness for Kids. And I'm so excited. We have a date for the gala. So drum roll, please.
Oh, yes, you do have a date.
It will be November the 16th. We will be at Federation Square at Zinc. Tickets will go on sale very, very soon. We are looking forward to having an absolutely fantastic night, but we have secured two major sponsors, which is fantastic. One is, I think it's Biv Group. They're here in Melbourne. They're developers, which we're very, very grateful that they've come on. And also the beautiful Australia Zoo and the Irwin family. They have been with us right from this concept of the idea for the gala. They put up their hands straight away to just say, absolutely, we're on board with you, and we can't thank them enough. We've got some other major sponsors that I will get a list of names and try and link onto our website, or they'll be on Kindness for Kids website too. But also a massive shout out to any business who would like to pay it forward, because we still have sponsorship opportunities. And we know as in our business group, we are philanthropic, and we also donate. We were at a gala for our business group just recently. And what I love about that is we donate as a collective, but this is an opportunity that if you are in business, you can actually donate and get recognised and be a part of the marketing, which is an opportunity that is not always afforded small to medium-sized businesses or even big businesses. It's usually for the major sponsors and the big players, but it doesn't matter what size business you've got. If you would like to reach out and donate to a really good cause in the way of a sponsorship, or come and attend the night, we would love to have you join us and have some fun with us. Every dollar that you donate goes towards our causes 100%.
Yeah, love that. K for K is fantastic, and for those that aren't aware, LJ is an ambassador for K for K.
Yep.
And for those that are scrolling through our podcasts and trying to figure out, the date is November 16, 2024.
2024, sorry, I forgot that.
2024.
Yes.
So it's this year. And also, all donations are tax deductible.
All donations are tax deductible, but
Yeah.
an amazing opportunity to come and join us as a sponsor and get your business recognised and your team recognised, which is often not afforded small to medium businesses. And we're really excited because we are actually one of those sponsors.
We are, and I have to dust my tux off.
You do,
Yeah.
because we have lots of fun to be had on the night. So stay tuned. There's a link on our website if you'd like to donate, or at least follow it through to the Kindness for Kids website where you can have a look about what we do and who we support. We do a lot with Angel Flight. We do a lot with Salvation Army, Red Door, VACA, White Ribbon. It's all listed on the website. So come and be a part of the change. Be the ripple effect.
Yeah.
Don't just talk about it. Put some action behind it, and actually your dollars go to where it matters.
Yeah. The quality of people that are coming through with, as you say, the businesses, it's amazing. And I think that what you and the other guys are doing for K4K and the gala night itself, I'm looking forward to this.
Oh, it's going to be fantastic. And also just a massive shout out to our founder, Jesse, because not only is he going through his own recovery at the moment, he's managed to do so much stuff behind the scenes, and he's still rocking the crutches and a busted hand and showing up. So amazing humans, this
Did you
team.
two get into a scrap or something? Because you've got the broken hand and Jesse's sort of got a busted wing as well. Did you go for a few rounds in the boxing ring?
No, ironically, that's how we met. We actually met in the waiting room for this because we have the same surgeon. So we talked about this, I think, a few podcasts ago about how great conversations open doors and opportunities to enrich your life and enrich the lives of others are everywhere. And I was very, very fortunate to connect with Jess and his amazing charity, and I'm so humbled to be a part of it.
Yeah, great charity.
Amazing charity.
Yeah,
so
really good.
Come on, help us celebrate what an achievement the gala is going to be, and to help some kids in much needed circumstances.
K4K, Kindness for Kids.
Yep,
and
Kindness for Kids.
Let's keep plugging this as we go with our podcast up to November 16. I think it's really important.
Well, I've got another little small tease too.
Okay, go.
Just for those that have reached out, and because we love our fan mail. Especially, I love it when people ring up asking if, message us asking about you, which is really funny because you're your smooth chocolate voice. We will be very, very soon launching our merchandise line. So our challenge will be, we want to see how far around the world Coach Talk goes, and we want pictures of you in your Coach Talk gear, and let's see how we can together send Coach Talk around the world like a Where's Wally.
Yeah, we do. We spoke about this a little while ago, and we decided it's a great thing for sell our merchandise, but also anyone that buys our merch, and is going to come out shortly, send us some photos of where you are wearing a Coach Talk garment or a hoodie or a shirt or whatever you've got, and see how far it can go around the world. And I'm tipping there's going to be some amazing photos coming in a short space of time, because we've got listeners from everywhere. So I think it's going to be good. Yeah,
100%. So stay tuned. We haven't quite launched yet. We're putting the final touches on some of the merch just to make sure that we're 100% with it. But I'm just giving you all a little teaser, so stay with us.
I love it. What are we going to... And now today's your day. Because you've got all the knowledge on this. What are we going to talk about today?
Welcome to the LJ rabbit hole, people. Thank you for joining us today as we discuss a pretty hot topic, because it's a bit of a buzzword at the moment. It's the topic of authenticity, because everybody's jumped on the bandwagon around you've got to be authentic, and 100% you do need to be authentic. But when you look at that as a concept in psychology, what does that actually mean? Now, in some ways, if you're not sure whether you're being authentic or not, we're going to explore a few things that maybe you can say, yep, I can check that box, I can check that box. Authenticity is another word for people with green flags.
Yeah.
So we've talked about red flags and green flags in people before. It's not just intimate relationships, it's friendships, it's business relationships.
Yep.
It can be just when anyone you say hello to, you've just formed a little bit of a relationship.
Yeah.
And it's about how to know that those people are actually genuinely meant to be in your circle and your values match. And I thought it would be really unique, and let's have a wander down the rabbit hole of authenticity.
Yeah, I like how you say a values match. That's a really great phrase.
Most strong, if you reflect the people that you've had your closest relationship, not necessarily your longest, because people are either there for a season, they're there for a short time, a long time, or a lifetime. But when you really look at what gave you the basis for your friendship, it's always around the values that you hold dear, because they're the people that you connect the most with. So values, knowing your values, help you find we talk about how you show up, and how you show up as your true self. And for those on the receiving end of your true self, they'll either see you as a really authentic person, or they'll go, geez, that person's got a lot of really positive things or green flags about them that I really like. Some conversations that came up this week around our talking about business with some people that we're working with, we all know that when you choose a path that others don't necessarily agree with, it sifts the friendships.
Yep.
It sorts them, because most people get attached to the version of us that they prefer.
Yep.
So therefore, somebody who's not authentic has higher expectations that you'll stay the same. They don't like change. They're not as flexible. They don't take responsibility. They're very critical of other people. They talk about others rather than about opportunities and moving forward and positives. So I thought that was really, really interesting to see how when you choose to make a change, because we talk about growth, you and I are lifelong learners, which means that we grow exponentially all the time, how it irritates the demons in others, or it irritates other people and they pull away.
Yeah. Do you think people, and I mean people consciously or deliberately create a persona or create themselves to appease or make themselves out to be something to make somebody else happy?
Oh, absolutely. We're all guilty of it. Even when you're truly authentic, we're all guilty of it at some point in our world.
Yeah.
Until we become really comfortable in our own skin of who we are and how we show up for ourselves.
Yep.
And then if we are steadfast in our own morals, our own beliefs and our own values, I mean, beliefs are flexible, are probably the most flexible, but our values and our morals tend to stay fairly constant. Yeah. Constant's a good word. It's not saying that they're not flexible, but they're constant. Whereas beliefs, the more you learn about a topic, the more you broaden your horizon, the bigger your beliefs to encompass that information of possibility of something else also being true.
Yeah.
Is possible. So I like to say beliefs are probably the thing that people say they're flexible with, but in the end, the other behaviours tell you that they're not as flexible as they would like to think they are. Yeah, and it also comes back to people, again, it's another buzzword around wearing a mask.
Which everybody does.
Yes and no.
Do you know anyone that doesn't wear a mask?
You.
Yeah, because you know me. You know
but
me
I've seen,
very well.
I've seen people who are, and you know them because they shift the energy in a room. Does that make sense?
It makes a lot of sense.
And they have they're quietly humble. They have self-confidence. They don't have ego. They are just very comfortable in who they are. And dare I say it, people who are truly comfortable of who they are and they don't really take stock of what other people think of them, they irritate a lot of others.
And I was just about to bring that point up to you. And you said it earlier, how it can irritate their demons, your uniqueness or your frequency or vibration, whatever you want to call it. It can irritate people's demons, and that's just a part of life. The important thing, and I like how you're getting into this, is your uniqueness and the way you show up and the way you present yourself, your values. If you stick to what your values are, regardless of somebody else's influence or opinion, whether they like it or not, that's empowerment.
Yes.
That's strength within a person. It's I think it's amazing. And one thing I find through business and also through personal relationships is there seems to be a trend that a group of people feel that they have to have everything in common with the other people in the group, instead of having their own growth and having one person likes red, somebody else likes blue, and that's okay. I see a lot of commonality where you must like red because I like red.
Yes. This actually came up on the weekend with a group of friends that I was hanging out with, and the comment was made, when someone, in the dating sense, they go, when someone's a good match because they're confident to order the same meal as you because they want it, not because you ordered it.
Mm.
Or they're confident to order something completely different and they don't care if they're judged for it.
Yep.
So let me ask you a question.
Okay.
Just an interesting question. When you've been out with, because we all have multiple circles of friends, like you've got workplaces, you've got your intimate families, you've got your close-knit buddies.
Yep.
So there's so many different circles that we all travel in. When was the last time you were out with, say, work colleagues?
Yeah.
I mean, maybe this is the wrong question for you because you're very you in all circles. But listeners, I'd love you to think, when was the last time you were out with a group of friends or a group of family or work colleagues where you didn't order something from the menu because, say you wanted a burger. How many times do you just want a burger? But because you were with people that like to eat fish and salmon and you thought, well, if I ordered a burger, I'd be judged. So you sacrificed what you really wanted to belong.
That's a great question. And this happened to me less than a fortnight ago.
Really?
Yes.
Okay,
yes,
do tell.
Great question. So I was with a group of people and we were having an early breakfast, and the group of people, they looked at the menu and the menu was quite good at this coffee shop, and somebody ordered whatever it was, the smashed avo with eggs, and somebody else ordered, it was directly off the menu. Down the bottom of the menu, there were all these sides you could order, mushrooms and sausage and other bits and pieces, as well as whatever from the menu. So for me, my breakfast order was, could I please have just some mushrooms on toast and some bacon on the side and a chorizo sausage, and do you have any tomato relish? That's all I asked for. And the lady said, of course, we can just give you that. And that wasn't on the menu. It was just ordering sides here and there and just creating my own little breakfast. So I said, that'd be great. Just some mushrooms on toast, a bit of bacon, some chorizo and some relish. That'd be great with my coffee. So as she walked away, I was asked the question, why didn't you order from the menu? It's all on the menu. We've
How
ordered
dare you
from
be different?
That's what it was. And somebody said to me, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? You didn't order from the menu. You've ordered all these sides and all this sort of stuff, which is because in their opinion or in their perspective, I was not conforming because they were ordering straight from exactly what's on the menu.
Yeah.
So my response to that is what I've said to many clients I've worked with and people, and this lovely lady I met on the plane just recently, she asked me some questions about some things. I said some of the best responses are 4 words only, and it is, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So I just said, I'm okay with that. Because it doesn't matter. You can have your perception, you can have your opinion, it's more about them really more than me on this case anyway. They can say, well, Dave's ordered this, and this, and it doesn't worry me that it doesn't conform with them all ordering poached eggs and smashed avo. It's what I wanted. It's not offending anybody. It's not upsetting anybody. It's what I wanted. And that's my value is I like to enjoy something I enjoy. Why does it affect them?
Why would you pay for something you didn't actually want?
Yeah, I didn't get that. So there's a lot of people that pass their opinion and perception on people. It happens in society everywhere you go, in business, private, relationships, family, the whole shebang. So I decided many years ago, it's so cathartic and it's so releasing to look people in the eye. This is me, and I'm not saying anybody else should do it, but for me, it works a treat. I'm okay with that.
That's great. I love that.
And I don't have to explain myself. I don't have to. So many people feel bad or they feel guilty that they've been judged, and they've got to come out with, well, I didn't want to have eggs and I just thought maybe mushroom would be good. And they start going into a long diatribe about
why they chose it and justifying this. Yeah.
You don't need to justify yourself. Just be your authentic self. Be you. And the easiest way to do it is cut it off at the pass and say, I'm okay with that.
Oh, I really like that. That's a good story.
Yeah, but it happened to me less than a fortnight ago.
Wow, that's very new.
Yeah.
Question: how can you tell in that group? I've got an answer, but I wanted to see if you'd thought about this. How can you tell in your group who's the next person teetering on the edge of strength of authenticity?
I'm just thinking about the group I was with, but I'm also trying to expand and think about other groups that I've dealt with and worked with, and looking from an outsider's point of view. From what I've seen with people I've worked with, they are normally a person that other people in the group start to make little tiny comments about a change in that person's behaviour or perspective. There's little warning signs. They'll say, oh, you're going to do that, are you? Oh, okay, I didn't think you would do that. I didn't think you would say that. I didn't think that was in you. They're little tiny verbal warning signs.
Don't step outside the boundary.
Yeah. And so then that person either decides to not be unique and they run with the herd, or we talked about this in our the Trust Me model, where they move into uniqueness from other areas, or they go the other way and say, this is what I want, or this is what I like, or I prefer to give this a go, and then they start to move into their own growth.
There's one really easy way that you can tell that somebody's teetering from leveling up. We call it leveling up if you think about the Trust Me model you just talked about, is when you show great authenticity of saying, but that's what I wanted, so that's what I'm ordered and I'm okay with that, and the others have all been part of the herd. The person who's very close to finding their feet and the confidence to step outside to where you are now is the person that goes, wish I'd have thought of that.
Yeah.
Because they'll openly express where they wanted to be. Isn't that interesting?
It is.
And there'll be one person in your group, and now every time you're with a different group, and our listeners will do it too, you'll hear somebody say, oh, I wish I'd have thought of that. And and if you watch them, they're teetering on that next level into uniqueness rather than to break away from the herd, because regardless of whether you want to or not, growth is inevitable.
Absolutely it is.
And for those of you who don't believe in that theory, you were born an infant and look at you now. Growth is inevitable. You are not going to stay an infant size for very long.
Yeah.
We're designed to grow and evolve. So when you think of that from a physical perspective, why wouldn't you embrace it from an emotional perspective?
Yeah.
Everybody's talking about being authentic, but what does that actually look like? And more importantly, why is it coming up? Because people are trying so hard to belong to something that they have a values mismatch with, that it's causing a lot of mental anguish unnecessarily, because they haven't found the strength within or the people to be around that will support the growth of saying it's okay to be who you're at.
And that can cause disparity too, because you've got this mental anguish of that, but they're also comfortable staying where they are because they're in their comfort zone. They don't want to push or stretch to become their authentic self, but the anguish is staying where they are as well.
So let me ask you a question. So our mentor that we mentor with, our business
You have
mentor.
a lot of questions today.
I do. I love it. You love my curiosity. And so do our listeners. Thank you for embracing it. So let me ask you a question. We call it the comfy mattress syndrome in our business group, in our mentoring mastermind. So what happens when you stay in bed for too long? We see it unfortunately, with our bedridden seniors.
Bed sores.
Bed sores.
Yeah.
Bed sores that then turn into the inability to heal because of pressure.
Yep.
Bed sores are actually caused by bone pressure from the inside.
Yeah.
They don't heal and they're super painful. So why would you put yourself through that just for the sake of belonging to a group that you really don't feel comfortable in any way?
Yeah. Have you seen, and I know what you're going to say here, have you seen someone who's decided to step outside their comfort zone and they have started their growth journey and they have started to show more of their authentic self, and suddenly they've just taken off like a rocket and they are happy to show their uniqueness. They're happy to have their own journey. They get to a point where they just step over the line and that line just disappears in their rearview mirror because they're going so far forward and there's no going back.
Yeah, absolutely. So without actually stepping into the relationship realm, but it's the easiest way to illustrate this. So normally, the psychology behind it is you can always tell who was the problem in an unhealthy relationship, because after you've parted company, the one that thrives was the one and glows up and does do the growth, mass growth, and changes and was the one that was being stifled and held back.
Yeah.
That's probably and we all know people who have done that, and that's probably the easiest way to illustrate that example. And we've talked about it many, many podcasts ago, the mandrake plant theory, the Harry Potter theory.
Yes, yeah.
And even if you're not a gardener, you know that plants need to be nurtured and they can't stay in pots forever without being, the roots being either trimmed, or you need to transplant them into a more healthier environment so that the roots can expand for the health of the plant.
Yeah.
We are no different.
Yeah. Mandrake plant.
Mandrake plant. I love my mandrake plant.
I know. I was just thinking, I know you do. I was just reading something about the benefits of being your authentic self. A couple of things lead me through these. A couple of things that I see here. It says self-acceptance, which is massive for people.
And really hard for people.
It is. It can be.
So can I just say on that note, because we've talked about it before, if you are looking outside yourself for validation, you do not have self-acceptance.
Yeah.
And until you find the strength to dress and behave that match your values and how you feel about you, you will 9 times out of 10 struggle.
Yeah. Talk me through increased resilience as a result of?
As a result of self-awareness.
As a result of being more authentic to yourself, increasing your resilience.
Let's put ourselves in a car capacity. You get to know when you need to get healthy with nutrition and you don't follow fads. You know when you need to take a really good hard look and ownership of the choices that you've made and learn from them so you make more informed choices. You can take a meta view of your situational friendships and business working environment and actually take ownership for where you find yourself. You will do, realistically, if we look at ourselves as a startup business, what resources do you need? And you're more likely to identify what you need and to go and find it and model somebody who has those capabilities until you've mastered those skills. But you're also acknowledging the biggest thing is you ask for help and you genuinely accept it and take on board what is being offered.
Yeah, 100%. I find it's a bit of an anchor for me. Well, it is definitely an anchor for me when, in my resilience, when I say I'm okay with that, I'm bringing myself back into myself, and I'm asking myself, how do I feel about it, to the exclusion of other people.
Yeah, it's self-awareness.
Correct. So someone says, "Oh, I can't believe you're ordering blah blah blah." As soon as, and if I am okay with it, I say I'm okay with that. That for me is my resilience. It doesn't matter what comment comes after that, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent for me, because I've anchored myself with I'm okay with that. And I am genuinely okay with that. That's my resilience.
Yeah.
It's an easy way for me to move through that into resilience, where I have seen people that, why did you order that sort of coffee instead of, we're all drinking cappuccinos and you've ordered a whatever, a long black. Why would you do that? And I have seen people, actually, I don't know, maybe I should have ordered, and they go back into the herd again.
Yeah. It's very hard to don't get us wrong. It is really, really challenging.
It is.
Until you work out that you're being held back and you want more for you, it is really hard to break away from the herd.
Yeah.
There's a lot of reward for actually doing it. It doesn't mean that you have to lose friendships necessarily, because your true friends will actually embrace your growth, and they'll want that for you. They'll be your cheerleaders. And I think this is what sparked the authenticity conversation today, because good friends, they won't have to agree with your choices, but they will always support you. That's an authentic friendship.
Most definitely. And there's one thing I'm looking at here is societal and social pressure and fear of judgment. And I guess that's what we're talking about at the moment. But I'm just thinking about, I can't recall anything, LJ, where I have said something or eaten something or done something and you've never worried about it. You've called me out on things because I've needed to improve with something, like in the business sense, or you said, hey, how about we lift here or we do this, and that is completely justified. But that's not a judgment. It's not a social pressure.
Definitely not. 9 times out of 10, I'm calling you out when you've said you want to do something, and then you go, I'm having a moment, and you don't follow through, and I'll go, is that really what you want to do? Because that's not what you told me.
So that's different. That's actually, that's great. That's coming from a place of love, and it's warranted, and it's timely. It's exactly what you need to do, versus someone who just says, I can't believe you're wearing a green jumper. Why would you wear a green jumper, for example? And which I've had someone say that to me years ago. They didn't like the colour green. For me, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
2 other things that I know I've said to you is, and a few of my other friends quite often, that you do you.
Yeah.
You do you, and that's okay.
Yeah.
And it's not meant to be sarcastic. It's meant to be, I love how you're showing up, and I don't have to agree with it, but I'm really proud of you for actually saying that this is what you want.
Yep.
It's sort of like that undertone. And you would have probably heard me say a number of times, but you're either going to love me or love me, and I'm okay with that.
Love it. I love it. You said earlier, and I completely agree with you, you said earlier about people that walk into a room and change the room immediately.
Yes.
Based on their and you and I are very big on this, on frequency, vibration, the way that I've seen people walk into a room and they can shift a room without having said a word, just by, and they're unique. They walk in as their own unique person. And I marvel at that. I love seeing people walk into a room and they can change a whole room within an instant.
Absolutely.
And I just think that person is amazing.
Absolutely.
I love to see it.
And we are very lucky to have people like that in our circle.
We are.
Very fortunate.
We have people like that. And they are amazing to talk to one-on-one, and they are amazing to see them talk to many people.
Oh, and the difference is they never talk about people.
No.
They talk about opportunities, and they
Yes.
talk about what's next for you, and I'm really excited for you, and I love seeing you grow, and the support is always there, and they call it active listening.
Yeah.
They listen intently, not to reply to you, but to actually take on board what you're saying and to show genuine love and concern and empathy for what you're telling them. And then they may not actually even respond straight away because they're actually taking on board. That's healthy. And unfortunately, because we've talked about this too, unfortunately, we are so used to unhealthy that when we find ourselves in circles of healthiness, or green circles rather than red circles of friendships, families, relationships, workplaces,
Yeah.
it's really challenging because you go, oh, this feels wrong. This feels completely wrong because we are so used to toxic environments and being conformity. We're so used to having to conform to belong, where when you find the right people you're meant to be around, it's easy, it's an energy thing, and it's like putting the final pieces into a jigsaw. They just fit.
Yeah, yeah. I know that we will have lots of listeners out there, LJ, that I guarantee it would be thinking, I want to be unique. I want to step into myself and I want to start to show my unique self more to the world. I want to build resilience. This is what I want. I know there's people out there that want to move into that. And you and I encourage that, of course.
Absolutely.
What is something that anyone can do, the very first thing or first and second thing that they can do straight away to start moving into their journey of becoming a more unique person?
Oh, I love this. First of all, you were born unique.
Yeah.
And the reason I say that, you already beat the odds. The odds of you being the person you are now, especially when you think about the whole, the little sperm race and that sort of thing, if we can go there for 30 seconds, like you've already beaten the odds to be you.
Yeah.
And you didn't beat those odds to be part of somebody else's pack.
No.
You are beautifully unique in your own presence, and you bring a very special gift to the world, even if you don't know what that is. You will find it if you allow yourself. A couple of things you can do, and I really encourage you to start small, but start to love yourself. And what does that look like? It looks like wearing the clothes that reflect the person you want to be without ego. What helps you feel good about you? Is it a colour? Is it a style? Is it, I don't know, is it a special brooch? Is it the perfume that you wear? Is it the aftershave that you wear? Start small. Dress for you. We've talked about this before too, but dressing for yourself to make you feel better is a really easy place to start.
I love that.
Even if you wear a uniform.
Yep.
You may have to wear an external uniform, but for the lovely girls and the lovely guys, you're still in control of your underwear and your socks.
Yep.
So wear your funky socks.
I love that.
Wear your, for girls, find, I don't know, most women love feminine undergarments, so dress in your favourite undergarments.
Yeah.
That if you are controlled by a uniform.
I really like that. As you know, I love human behaviour and I love the body language and how people do things. I was just watching people come and go out of an apartment block a little while ago. I was waiting for somebody else. And exactly what you just said. Some people walked out of the foyer area and they walked out like they owned their lives. They looked great. Yeah. They had a good step about them. They held their head high. They dressed beautifully. They looked how they felt and they felt how they looked. And then I saw other people that shuffled out the door, looking at the ground, shoulders down, head down, totally different in their behaviour and mannerisms to those that just walked out the door with, I own the world and I'm in control of my life.
Yep.
And I thought there's so many different levels of journey that we are on as people. And it was intriguing for me to see that. I thought, yeah, where are you at right now? Where are you at right now? And looking at these, and there was a whole spectrum of people that were coming and going with different levels of their own self-love and their own uniqueness. And we're all at different levels here. We all have a different journey.
Yeah.
And some are a lot more advanced than others. And the common denominator for me is that we can all do it.
Absolutely. Shine your bright light. Because
100%.
you are meant to be a part of this beautiful thing we call life, and you've got, like, you may not think that you matter, but you don't know who's watching you.
Yeah. Yeah. And if something is important enough and it scares you, that's a great thing.
Yes. So,
Yeah.
yes. Did you know that fear and excitement actually elicit the same physiological response?
I did know that, but you can expand on all of that.
So if you're excited about something, like a birthday party, for example, we are taught as children to relay that as excitement.
Yeah.
But we're also taught that the same feeling in certain situations should be something we're scared of. But it's exactly the same feeling. It's exactly the same physical composition that happens in our body. It's just how we're taught to fear it based on somebody else's experience.
Yeah, yeah. Do you have a challenge for our people?
Absolutely.
For this podcast? What have you got?
Absolutely. Challenge yourself to, every morning when you wake up, stand back from the mirror. Like, don't stand really close from the mirror. And this is for males and females. And say 5 great things to yourself that you like about who you are and what you see in the mirror.
Nice.
Because it starts there.
It does. It does. That's a really great piece of advice.
And for those, I'm a massive science research nerd. Did you know, because we talk about energies and changing a room today, authenticity emits a bigger frequency than love?
I did not know that.
They've actually measured it.
Okay.
That's why we know the little spidey senses go off when people are masks or they're not being congruent.
Yeah.
Because authenticity, the actual, the energy that's put out from when you're being authentic is room changing.
Yeah. Yeah. The mirror is great. And I love that. And we talked on a podcast a little while ago about a guy who lost a boxing bout, and he was quite distressed about it. And I spoke to him about this. And he said, where do I go from here? What do I do? And it's in a previous podcast. But I remember I said to him, look in the mirror, like you just said, and the first 2 words you say is, I am. I am. So for him, it was, I am a boxer.
Yeah.
Because he was doubting his ability, because everyone's going to lose at something. But he did. He did it for a few weeks. He stood in front of the mirror when he trained, when he had a shower. I am a boxer. It creates a strengthening in your neural pathways. It creates a strengthening in what you believe. And it's just what you just said then. It's the same thing. Stand in front of the mirror and pick 5 things that you like about yourself. I really like that because it's so powerful you're reaffirming back within yourself.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks.
Do you know there's a scientific reason you stand 1.5 meters back?
Tell me.
Because when you stand that far back, you actually have a true reflection of how others see you.
Right.
Whereas when you're that close, you have you only have your perception of what the mirror reflects back.
The further back it is, it's good for me. It hides my acne.
I'm sorry that you
Just
think
saying.
that you need to mention that, but I don't see that because I'm like over 1.5 meters from you. So
What a great chat. We could talk for hours on this.
absolutely. And we probably will revisit this again, but I thought it was really important to just dive in a little bit because there's so much coming up around authenticity. But what does it really look like, and how do I know whether someone's being authentically? But more importantly, stop working out whether somebody else is being authentic and actually start working out how you're showing up and being authentic, because you doing you in that respect and having enough self-love, awareness and respect for you will actually help those around you either move from your space or embrace your growth, and therefore you're going to have a better connection.
I love the whole thing, and we can expand on this and we can go further. Maybe
Stay tuned.
Yes, and we could talk about boundaries and other bits and pieces and really tie it into everything. It's an amazing thing. You as listeners, you do not need a qualification. You don't need a PhD. You don't need to have anything in studies to be able to recognize who you want to be and how you are going to show up and how you are going to be authentic. You can do it yourself.
Absolutely. So just to reinforce your lesson for today from Uncle Dave and LJ is you are amazing just the way you are,
Yes, you are.
We love the way that you're showing up and asking questions, and we can't wait to hear from you about how your experience of dressing for yourself and showing up in the mirror, it changes your world.
Yeah. Yeah. We would love
If
to
I
hear
was a
from
betting person, I would love to put $1 on for each of you, but I really can't afford like $7 billion.
No, me neither. So great chat, LJ. Thank you so much for your time. That's a great topic. I've enjoyed this one.
Oh, me too. I always love going down rabbit holes with you. Thank you, everyone, for listening. And I really hope that, if nothing else, it sparks your curiosity about your world and what you're capable of and what's next for you, because you deserve to have the life that you dream of and to be the person that we know you can be.
Great way to finish your podcast.
Have a great week, everyone.
Talk to you soon.
Bye.
See you. Bye.
Hi, it's LJ and Dave here. Thank you so much for listening to the latest podcast.
We love what we do, and we know you get something great out of each and every publication.
So don't forget to jump on the website, coachtalk.com.au, leave us a message, let us know what you're up to, what you're enjoying, what you're loving most, and what else you'd like to see us do.
You can also find all of our content on Spotify, YouTube, Amazon Music, and Apple Music.
Coachtalk.com.au is the website. Coach Talk. We've got you.